I'm Bo Nunger, and I'm here with
Matt Dubinsky.
from CGSchmidt, and I guess I'm going to ask you a couple questions. So I guess my first question is what your favorite thing about power tools, like buying bulk and power tools, are?
The discount.
Mm-hmm.
When we purchase the higher volumes, tend to get a better rate on the tool itself, and then there's quite a bit of kickbacks for buying in bulk, like your batteries, your saw blades, and stuff like that. Mostly we get batteries because those have the most tendency to walk away from a job site.
Yeah.
So when we're purchasing tools in bulk, we negotiate in more batteries than was actually required, so we can replace them down the road.
Yeah, I saw that a lot of they have like deals on their website and stuff, and a lot of them include batteries. And then I guess kind of what that process of like buying tools is like in terms of like, you know, do you guys reach out to someone to buy tools? Do they reach out to you?
A little bit of both. So I actually just got this today. This is a flyer from one of our vendors with all the deals for the next quarter.
Nice.
Usually most of the vendors will have their deals. When it comes to Milwaukee, they're pretty consistent across the board for every vendor.
Yeah.
Some guys get, this package, and some guys get this package, and they try to push that a better deal than the other guy. But mostly they're all the same. And since we do so much business with like a couple of major vendors around here, they match the deal for anybody else.
Yeah.
But from start to finish on the process of purchasing tools, I guess would start with our projections for the upcoming year or quarters on what jobs we think are going to be spending money on. And with that information, we build a budget and try to capture the cost of what it's going to take to get that job done. On my end, I really don't see the final ask until usually about a couple weeks, sometimes a month or two in advance of the job. And then it's a process of checking our current inventory and then weighing again what we need to purchase and what the budget constraints allow us to do.
Nice. So you kind of see what you have, and then depending on what you need for an upcoming job, then you purchase. And then based on that, do you reach out to people or like see what people have reached out to you for, and then what fits that best?
So what I try to do is when we have a larger job coming up and I can get enough notice, I build pretty much a shopping list of what I'm looking for from the vendors, and then I send it out to 3 or 4 different vendors to see who can give me the best rate on it.
And does that include accessories, where you try to see kind of the best deal you can get for the power tools and the accessories?
So for accessories, you're talking like the saw blades,
like
the
saw
consumable
blades,
aspects of it.
Yeah, those kind of
that I negotiate pretty much at the beginning of the year. So the vendors come in here, I talk to them, I tell them what this guy's giving me, and then I try to figure out what we're going to buy in volume and leverage that against their cost. Yeah. So a lot of times I'll be able to get the accessories at a better rate because we're buying in volume. Yeah. And with the promise of possible tool purchases from them.
And then another thing we saw is that like Diablo blades and certain, that's one thing that, because we have a coach that works with us through Milwaukee Tool, and one of the things that he explains quite clearly is that Diablo is kind of a pain in their butt. So my question is, I guess, what would make you want to choose a brand like them over Milwaukee Tool for saw blades?
Cost.
Yeah. So they just have cheaper costs?
Yep. Diablo's product line is sometimes better.
Unknown caller.
And we'll have a lower cost to it. And the brand name is pretty well used by all construction personnel.
So it's just cheaper, so when you're buying more of them, it just works out better?
Yeah, when you're paying, sometimes a Milwaukee 7 1/4 saw blade can run depending on which one it is, anywhere from $7 to $14, whereas a comparable Diablo blade is a quarter of that cost because I buy it in volume.
When would you know how they like make it so much cheaper?
Volume.
So they just sell blades in volume more often than walkie tool.
Yeah, I'll like 7.25 blades. Going back to that, it's a pretty good example. I buy by the hundred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because I will go through so many of them. So
Yeah.
I call a vendor like, hey, I'm looking for 300,
Mm-hmm.
400 within the next 6 months. What kind of price are you gonna do it? And Milwaukee has not come
Yeah.
close to that yet.
And then have you found yourself like, do you buy your tools like straight from a person selling out of like Diablo or Milwaukee Tool, or do you end up like buying from like a construction hardware store?
So Milwaukee will not sell directly to us. I have to go through a supplier.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have a resale license, so we have to go through a vendor like Colony or Farrell or there's another one, AFS, Whitecap, all those kind of guys.
Yeah.
For us to be able to purchase. I've tried to go directly to Milwaukee and just get pallets of stuff from them.
Yeah.
They won't do it.
Yeah. And then for a flyer like that, do you and people like yourself prefer it to have like literally everything and like just have everything on a page, or would you prefer it to be a little bit more simple and maybe a couple more pages instead of it being so like jammed shut with stuff?
So they do. So that's like, this is a quarterly flyer, and then they'll do promotions. So like World of Concrete just happened, so they had a World of Concrete promo, which was like a double-sided flyer, which just had a lot of the concrete tools and accessories on special.
Yeah.
Most of the time when it comes to like the quarterly stuff, it's a bunch of their products.
Yeah.
And what you can get for buying multiple items and stuff like that. And that's fine.
Yeah, and then so it'd be more common for you because I guess there's like probably the season one, like the World of Concrete one that you just mentioned. That's like a little bit simpler and there's less stuff on there because it's more like directed at one idea.
Yeah, it's sometimes I like to see everything, but when I'm looking for something specific, it's nice to see like they have special promos on the concrete stuff this month. Like it's nice to see that as well. So I think it's the quarterly stuff is nice. Like I can go into here. We're gonna be starting to gear up here soon, and flip through this and see. Okay, drill driver kits, they're on special for X price. Okay, what can I get with it? Oh, they got a free battery going with that. Well, I know that we have jobs coming up in the spring. My inventory is low. I'm going to order 10, 12 of those right now because I can get that free battery with it. So
nice. Well, I mean, I think that's all my questions.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
I appreciate your time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem.